In classical education, the South and Presbyterianism, memory is often talked about as an important aspect, but sometimes it isn't clearly explained. Memory is not just you remembering things about your life, things from a couple of years ago, a funny story, or something important your parents told you. Memory is important because it keeps you connected to the past, which brings you into the future, right? Memory is something that you keep and you carry forward. It's not something that you hold on to one time and let it pass by you and let it keep on going. Memory is something that you keep. Memory is an aspect of the past that keeps you moving into the future. The first thing memory does is it gives you a foundation. If you were to walk into a forest and a densely wooded forest, a lot of trees and overgrowth, not a lot of light peering through the tops because of how dense the branches are, how thick the leaves make it seem. The leaves then become a cloud that block out the sun. Where would you go? Where would you go? What would you look for? Well, you would look for a path. A path tells you that there's a direction. A path tells you that other people have been here before. Paths give you hope. Paths give you guidance. Memory tells us that other people have lived in this world before, have had the same problems that we have had, just a different year. Memory gives you a foundation for everything. When you want to learn things, where do you go? Well, you go back to the classic texts, the trusted resources of the past, because they have worked. Not only because they have worked, but because of their influence. Memory gives you a foundation for life. Memory gives you a framework to think in. If you wanted to learn more about Presbyterianism, where would you go? Well, you would go to the Westminster Confession of Faith. Well, that's where you go. Not just because of its tried and true methods, but because of its influence. Obviously speaking, memory gives you a foundation. If you are looking to the past as, please be my guide, that's where you go to. The second thing that it does is that it is a guidestone. In the Bible, when King Josiah finds the book of the law, and remember, this is something that has been lost for many years. The law has been forgotten, and the people of Israel and the kings and the rulers have been sacrificing to the Baals in the high places. They've brought in the Ashtaroth into the temple. They've completely forgot the statutes of the Lord. And it just so happens that King Josiah finds the law, and he reads it, and he mourns for his sins and for the sins of his people. And what does that do? That creates a revival. He becomes so convicted of his sin that he repents and follows the Lord. And he's one of the good kings, one of the very few good kings that we remember. And the Baals, the high places, were torn down. The Ashtaroth was thrown out. The people began to celebrate the feasts and the festivals, again, all because of memory. Because King Josiah did just that. He looked at what was in the past, what was done as the foundation of his people, the foundation of not only the history, but of their spiritual history, that he came in contact with the one true living God. And the word of the Lord became his guidestone. A guidestone is a little marker. It's usually it's a stone that you write on to help travelers that come after you. It helps them keep on the path to where they're going. So memory is a guidestone from the past. It's little pieces of people that we respect, and even people that we don't respect. Memory helps you learn from people's mistakes, and it shows you where to go. Memory keeps you going on the path. Memory is foundational for the future. Without memory, you can't keep a culture going. Without memory, how are you going to go through life? If no one has ever lived before you, how are you going to keep on going? How are you going to face problems and troubles in life? Memory is the guidestone. It shows you what to do. And memory is very important to Southern culture, to not be lost or forgotten. It keeps everything together. In summary, memory is the compass and the map in life. The things I like to talk about, South, classical education, Presbyterianism, it's the most vital aspect. Without memory, without keeping in mind the things of old of Western culture, without keeping it, you're sunk. Memory isn't the end of all things. You don't look to the past to just ruminate about the past. It helps you carry things forward into the future. So memory serves a purpose. It actually serves a use, if you want to get utilitarian about it. It keeps you moving forward. It lays the foundation of everything in the future. If you want to build a culture, you have memory.